What makes a good zombies boss? Is it the amount? Is it the iconicism? Is it the health? Is it the unwillingness of
What
it
the
to
Sigma?
die? Is it difficulty without being tedious? What makes a great COD Zombies boss from a bad one? Well, I think it's the ability to make a presence within a map that makes it more difficult without it being annoying. And we've had many instances in the past where zombie bosses have been both difficult and annoying. And let's go on the annoying side here. So you have the Nova Crawlers, okay? You have the Denizens, you have the Avogadro, and you have the Bugs, right? These are not difficult zombies, I'm telling you right now. They're just annoying, right? They're annoying to deal with, and I dislike them. I actually hate them. But then you have the zombie bosses that are too difficult to kill. The Astronaut, George Romero. Guys that are just so impossible to the point where it's like, it's not even fun.
If God didn't want women to be cooking, he wouldn't have put milk and eggs in their body.
If God didn't want...
I'm on a whole nother level.
So, what's a great middle balance here? The question between the greatest zombies boss, the difficulty, along with the rewards, the unwillingness to be tedious, the fact that it's not annoying. And there's some great contenders out there. I think the Margo is great. I think that the Panzer is great. But there is one zombie boss in particular that I think is the greatest boss ever. The fundamental way that this zombie boss changes the map, unlike anything else in the history of Call of Duty Zombies. And I'm not talking about no wee little bullshit fucking this boss gives you max ammo. The reward that goes with killing this one simple creature is unmatched by any other zombies map in the history of Call of Duty.
Warning. Breach detected on level 3. Initiate security protocol 115.
I seem to have no more rounds.
And this isn't just Treyarch Zombies. No. This is every single Zombies installment since day one in 2009. The greatest Zombies boss of all time. The GOAT of GOATs. The only man or boss that can fundamentally, single-handedly change not just a round, an instance, a moment in time, but change the entire game for the better. The greatest Zombies boss is, of course, the Pentagon Thief. Now why? Why is the Pentagon Thief the greatest Zombies boss of all time? Enough with the theatrics. Well, I think it comes down to three simple things. I think it comes down to reward, uniqueness, and of course, difficulty. I think when it comes with reward, this is one of the main things that I love about this boss in general, is the fact that reward is so rewarding. First off, he comes at a very early round, and that risk to reward balance, that scale factor, is a very, very good feature in this boss zombie. And with the Pentagon Thief, I think it is important to realize that the bonfire sale, right? That's just such a huge reward. Basically, if you don't know what the bonfire sale is, it makes Pack-a-Punch $1,000, right? Huge reward. It's like a fire sale for Pack-a-Punch. You can get your ray gun, your guns, your Winter's Howl Pack-a-Punched if you wanted to. And then if you fail against this boss, you lose your gun. Talk about a crazy risk reward scale. The fact that you can lose your gun, or the fact that you can get a free Pack-a-Punch, right? So that, you know, intense action that he gives of going to grab you and then grabbing your gun and then running away from you, and that sequence of you chasing him is such a great sequence. And if you really have a gun, even something like a Spectre or something simple that, you know, can just take him out, like an M16, it's really, really great. Now, I will say the wall weapons do draw back a little bit from this because 5 has such shit wall weapons. In fact, BO1 in general just has bad wall weapons by the M40 and the M16. But with that zombie boss in particular, that risk-reward scale between the two, I think is a very big reason why this boss is just so beloved the way it is. And that brings me to my second moment, which is uniqueness, which is the fact that no other zombie boss gives you a little mini game. He kind of just teleports you down to the bottom. He gives you a little mini game that you have to complete. Now, whether this is solo or co-op, it's a similar thing. And the fact that he can just kind of teleport you, and the game don't start until you shoot him or he sees you. So you have that time to prepare, and that ooze, that ambience that you get as you hear that sound, that play. It's just absolutely amazing, and there's nothing really like it. The color shift, the interaction, it's just so different. I think that this is the one thing that Classified really lacked, was the Pentagon Thief. And although it didn't make sense in the story, I think that the Pentagon Thief is still such an amazingly created boss, and I think it's the best ever. And then number 3, let's talk about difficulty. I mean, it is difficult to take this guy down, especially solo before the Pack-a-Punch. Now, I do think it's a little bit easier to take it out once you do get your gun taken away. But damn, I mean, the ability to run through and then all the other zombies that are coming at you, it's not just like, see, the difference between the Pentagon Thief and bosses like the Margwa and the Panzer is that it's not just a tank boss that chases you, right? That guy you can hold forever, and you can take your time on killing him. You can't take your time with the Pentagon Thief, and that's why it's such a moment in the game that changes everything else. Because it is life or death situation here. It is everything goes, and I think that really needs to be experimented more in these future games. That uniqueness, that style, that high risk, high reward, and that difficulty all combined together to not just create a moment in the game, not just a moment in time, but something that can forever change the entire game as a whole, especially if you do lose your gun or do lose your, get your bonfire sale, whatever outcome you sort of come out with. So I do want to give respect to the Pentagon Thief. I know that this video was a little bit theatrics, like, but it is important to acknowledge him. Acknowledge your Pentagon Thief. I do think it's the greatest boss of all time. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me on the Pentagon Thief? I know I got the Greaser 50 haircut slick back. I just got out of the shower. I'm sorry. Today's been a crazy day, and yeah, I appreciate you all so much. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all very, very soon.